Back here at the Diet building, and I just walked past the Prime Minister's office, which is over that way over there. After I came up from the train station, so I did this video the other day, but I'm going to do it again today with more details than before. So I'm going to talk about the political situation in Japan. I'm also going to talk about the misunderstandings that are going on with the foreign immigrant situation and why the business management visa was updated. And I'm also going to talk about adding my Instagram to my YouTube. I'm actually going to start working at BSP Japan Instagram account. I was taking a lot of pictures. I've taken so many photos here in Japan, and I just want the brothers to be able to see where I've been. That way, you don't get the video, only get the video experience or me running my mouth. You also get to look and relax and see where I've been and the nice places I've been. So this is a really beautiful country, guys. Trust me, it's really beautiful. So as I stand right here in front of the Diet building, the head of the government here in Japan, I'm going to give you an update. So the other day, we were still kind of confused as to what was going to happen. And I know that today is the 19th, the 21st is a big day here in Japan. Of course, next week is big, is all week, because that's when they're going to actually decide who the prime minister is. Now, one thing I want to say about all that is that it looks like, based on the latest news that I read last night, is that the Liberal Democratic Party and the Japan Innovation Party are going to form a coalition, and then if that happens, then the Sakai Takaichi, the lady that is the president of the Liberal Democratic Party, will then become the first lady prime minister in Japan. I kind of knew that was going to happen and whatnot. Hey, what's up, AJ? I kind of knew that was going to happen, and but I didn't know which party was going to form a coalition with the Liberal Democratic Party. They gave some sort of what you call it conditions, and one of the conditions is that the LDP agreed to limit the number of seats in Congress, and also they're working on some other issues here. And they said they keep having these meetings, and they're saying the meetings are very progressive, very fruitful, and things are getting taken care of or getting done, and there's agreements being made between the parties that's going to form a coalition. Now the loser here, the loser party, is Komeito, because Komeito, who is backed by Soka Gakkai, a religious organization that also supports Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism, which is what I practice, although I don't give a shit about Soka Gakkai. I've seen them in action. They lost out big time, and now a lot of their policies are going to get pretty much ignored because they will no longer have that power base that they had with the LDP, because the LDP, as you know, had the numbers, and with the exception of a few years, like right around when the earthquake hit, up till 2012, when they had other people in party. Now the LDP is usually in party, like I said, since the late 50s or whatever, right? So they always have the numbers. But this past summer, they lost a lot of seats because there was a public funding scandal from a business charter funding scandal that was going on. A couple of members took some money that they weren't supposed to take, so they lost a lot of trust in the people. So then they went ahead and showed it in the polls how disappointed they were. So hey, Megasonic and Shadow, what's going on? So thanks for coming to the channel. Oh, that's okay. Yes, thank you. So so that's what's going on. So it looks like she will be the prime minister. Now, she wanted it this way. She did not want to be a lame duck, because if nothing happened, if there was no changes, no coalitions formed, the LDP has the most seats in the Congress. So she would have more than likely gotten to be a member of the LDP. I mean, not a member of the prime ministership, but she would have been operating under lame duck cause. Well, I mean, lame duck administration. Well, now with this coalition that she's going to get with the Japan Innovation Party, which is bringing about 35 seats to the table, and the backing of Osaka area residents in Kansai and big parties, big um, contributors, she will now be able to do the things that she wants to get done. And also, Komeito was kind of like a ball and anchor, a ball and chain, I'm sorry, to the LDP, because what they were doing is they were actually limiting the LDP's movements about bills that they wanted to get passed, things of that nature. So you're going to see some major changes coming in Japan after she gets elected, and you know we're getting ready for it. Now, I do want to touch base on. So there's a lot of YouTubers out there that's putting out some false information. One channel in particular that I used to do interviews with, but I no longer do interviews with them because I don't agree with the fact that them giving out wrong information to brothers and taking their money. I am not here to give out wrong information, brothers. I live in Japan. I speak fluent Japanese. I know what's going on firsthand in Japan. No matter how many fucking news articles you read, pick up in English about saying what they're saying about Japan, like the guy on that channel was saying that Takichi does not want foreigners or some shit, which is a bunch of bullshit, which I'm going to get into the thing on the immigration, what they're talking about here in a little bit. But it's basically was just a bunch of bull that they were talking about, and he's just making up shit to get their clickbaits up. So I want to stop for a minute and say what's up to chaps. Hey, Batman, what's going on? Europe, what's going on? Thanks, AD. Brothers, what's going on? So, Bread Durst, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but anyway, thanks for coming to the channel. So, okay, so with that being said, like I said, I know this country like the back of my hand. I've been living in Japan over 12 years on and off now. I've been here on this third stint for 2.5 years, and I'm not leaving. As you know, I bought property here. I own a home here now. My children are in school. I have everything I own in my life is here in Japan. So I have no reason to live anywhere else. So, okay, let's talk about foreign residents, because I am a foreign resident here in Japan. Now, here's the big thing, reason why they changed up the business management visa, and here's why you're starting to have some anti-foreigner sentiment in Japan. It's coupled with the ignorant tourists that we get over here and the Johnny Somali motherfuckers that like to do their fucking YouTube channels and embarrass Japanese. There's been quite a few people out there. They're starting to crack down on these guys, by the way, which is good. But what really got the foreign resident thing ticked off was that the Chinese were moving over here from China on what they call business management visas, where they only needed to put down like $35,000, and they were really lax. The Japanese systems were really lax on making sure that they actually had business. Well, what they were doing is they were taking advantage of that, and they'd say, oh yeah, I got a business, and say another part, right? Another, like, say if they're in Tokyo, say, yeah, I got a business in Chiba. And so with the one news agency, NHK, went to this place, and they discovered that, yeah, they had the name of the business written on the front door. When they interviewed all the neighbors around, they said, yeah, nobody comes in. We don't know who's that. Then they started to discover more places. So basically what they were doing is they were putting up these mock businesses just to live here and not really have a business. The idea, the purpose of the Japanese, of the business management visa in Japan is to help Japanese get work, is to get the business person to invest in Japan. And what these Chinese were doing is they were going on Weibo, one of their big Facebook app, Weibo, in China, and the China Facebook, if you will, Weibo. And they were talking about, look, I just did this little paperwork, and I'm able to move my whole family over. Japan, the school system is really good. My healthcare costs are pretty much good. My children are free. They can get this, that, the other. They were bragging literally about what they were getting and what they were not doing for Japan. And NHK caught wind of that. They caught wind of that. And so that's what happened. And yes, Batman, yes, I am married to a Japanese person, yes. And I see you in Singapore. I've been to Singapore. I love Singapore. Singapore is a very nice, clean country. You can't come there, so which is good. But anyway, yeah, so that's what was happening. So they were bragging about how they were taking advantage of the system here in Japan. So what the Japanese government has done is they've come out with new measurements for that business management visa. And what now, you need to pay $200,000 and you need to hire a full-time Japanese and pay them at least 3 million yen a year. And you have to have experience. You have to show that you have a business, like an education in business experience, um, these kind of things. And you have to show that you are a legitimate business person. You can't have a business in your home, because they were trying to do home businesses, and that can't happen. And they were also able to get over because they were hiring their family members. So they were bringing their whole family over, and then they were creating family businesses, and they weren't really putting any money into Japanese society, but they were taking advantage of our kindness by our healthcare system, our welfare system here in Japan. So they were just abusing the system, and then they started bragging about it. So it looks like it's gonna rain here in a little bit, which is good. I love the rain here in Japan. It cools everything down. Today is a little bit hotter than it's been since I've been here. I think it's because it's just been more humid because of the rain's getting ready to come. But anyway, yeah, so they were taking advantage of the system. So let me get back into what I was saying. So now what they need to do is they need to show that, like I said, have proof that they have business experience, have some sort of degree. They have to also speak Japanese up to level N2. Yes, that's a new one now. They have to be able to communicate in Japanese using N2. Up to level N2. If you know anything about N2, N1 is the top. N2 is a JPLT test, the N2 test, and trust me, they're trying to get over it. They're trying to abuse that system because they've been known to cheat on that test. A lot of people from China. So that's a problem that they're having. So they're cleaning that up too. They're getting wind of that, and they're cleaning that up. Like I said, Japanese government, they don't fuck around. Once they find out what's going on, they're gonna clean it up. They're gonna clean it up quick. So another thing you have to do is you have to. There was one thing I had a list, but I'll actually paste it in this what they have to do, all the new things. Oh, also it is retroactive. So if you came over on that older visa system, they don't care. It's retroactive. So you have 3 years to come up with that $200,000, or basically get the fuck out of Japan. Now what they're saying is that a lot of Chinese are starting to leave Japan. That because they can't come up with that $200,000. There's no way. So they're starting to leave. They're looking for other places to live because they don't want to go back to China, obviously. So they're looking at Spain, they're looking at Portugal, they're looking at any other country that will take them. But they got to understand that they won't be able to abuse the system like they were abusing it here in Japan. Now, one thing I want to say on that is I'm not saying that every Chinese business is over here abusing the system. There are some good businesses over here that are investing in Japan and are hiring Japanese. But you get the gist of this. The gist of it is we need people over here that's going to contribute to Japan and not take advantage of Japan and then get everything from Japan. That's what we need. It's not just the Chinese. There's other nationalities out there abusing the system too. So I just want to put that out there. And of course, we have a few people over here, illegals. But like I said, they're starting to crack down. They're starting to find it out. And everybody, no matter what, we used to have a saying in the Air Force: if your partner know, the man know. So these people that got up there on Weibo that were bragging their asses off about how they're abusing Japan and getting away with this, that, the other, they made a huge mistake because they put it out there and Japanese get wind of it. So Batman says China is so clean and developed. Why don't they start a business in their own country? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I've seen pictures of China. I've seen Shanghai, Chongqing, Shenzhen, Beijing. I've seen them. But in China, unfortunately, they have so many people, and the business is hurting right now, with the government and some of the scams that were going on with the real estate market and this, that, the other, where they were basically taking your money and then developing your place later, and then they did end up not developing your place, and the people end up losing their money because they had a glut in the system, this, that, the other. If you know that system well, I know a little bit about it. So, AD says, sheesh, I'm not even the N4 yet. That's okay. It's not a problem. So yeah, Batman, to answer your question, I am married to a Japanese. I'm here on a spousal visa. I've been married to my wife for 18 years now. And I just put in for my permanent residence. Now, speaking of permanent residence, so the business management visa, what's supposed to happen is when you've been living in Japan for 10 years on that, then you can apply for a permanent residency. Well, Japanese government are looking into that. They're now looking into seeing if somebody got their permanent residency under false pretenses. See, and if they did, because they can revoke your permanent residency, and they can give you revoke your permanent residency, and then they will probably say, because they're giving these guys a what you call it, it's retroactive, right? So they may revoke it. And they may say you have 3 years to come to clean up your shit, and basically to get that money flowing in the Japanese economy, or you will need to leave Japan. So, yeah, getting a permanent residence in Japan is really hard. My way was easy to get in Singapore. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it is. Actually, yeah, it is hard to get a permanent residence in Japan. But for me, I'm a property owner. I own property here. I have a lot of things here in Japan. My whole life is here in Japan. I pay health insurance, taxes, things of that nature. So for me, that's what I got. So yeah, it is hard to get a permanent residence in Japan. I'm gonna start walking around because I'm getting a little bit of attention. So I don't want to be here too long. So I'm gonna go this way because I don't want eyes on me, and I don't need to be talking to people and getting them out of my video. So anyway, yeah. So it is hard to get a permanent residence here. I know a lot of people who've gotten their PRs turned down. If you make one mistake, then your PR will be turned down. And they have a lot of security up here, guys, around the Diet Building. By the way, as I walk away, they have a lot of security around here. I was walking somewhere. It is toward the Namon Hills up there. I was walking somewhere and I couldn't get. I had to cross the street. So because I couldn't go to a certain way. So that's what happened with that. So, but that's the Diet Building right there. There's a representative's office over here. This is where the government of Japan is run. So yeah. Now I do want to update you guys on something that I talked about, the two things about the politics and about the immigration here. I do want to add that I am now going to be putting my updating my Instagram account for my BSP Instagram account, BSP Japan. So now you will be able to go to my IG and you will be able to see photos that I've put up, messages, things of that nature. So you can interact with me there. So which is going to be good because a lot of you get to see the videos, but you don't get to see the pictures behind the videos. And trust me, I've been to a lot of places in Japan, and I have a lot of photos. I've been to 35 prefectures out of 47. 35 out of 47, guys. There's no bullshit. 35 out of 47. And you know how you get those memories, photos that pop up out of nowhere on your phone, because you've taken all these pictures and been all these places. I was looking through them, flipping through them this morning, and I was actually pretty impressed with all the places I've been. I said, damn, we've been to so many places. And some places I couldn't even remember the name of the shot that I took. But then you click it and they got it up in the video, in the photo, so which is good. But yeah, I've been to so many places, guys. So many places. But yeah, Japan is a beautiful country. But you have to keep it Japanese. It's Japanese. Don't come here and disrespect Japan. You have to Japanese custom. It's Japan. This is Japan. You have to be Japanese. You have to be not live like Japanese, but you have to abide by laws in Japan. I have no problem abiding by laws in Japan because I know that the laws are made to protect the citizens. But you do not. We do not, and that's what I was mentioning about the immigration thing. They do not appreciate people coming over here, taking advantage of Japan and then bragging about it. That's something that they don't like, especially when Japanese are struggling, man. The cost of living is going up and their wages aren't going up fast enough. And, you got these police guys out here, they're not getting paid as much as you think they're getting paid doing this service out here on a Sunday when they could be home with their families. So, because I know I got family police in the police. One of my guys was a police captain. He passed away a few years ago, and I got another young guy that's a policeman. So that up there in Ibaraki Prefecture. So with that said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. I really appreciate you guys looking at this. I'm coming across a big wave of security officers here, and so which is apparent. I mean, you have to have security in Japan. So anyway, this is BSP Japan. Once I get across here, when I can stop for a minute, I'm not gonna stop in front of here, that's for sure. I will be able to shut this down. This is where you have all the meetings and stuff like that. You can see the meetings right there, which is well, they have the police there. And we're going to be getting a new prime minister in Japan. Yes. So, Anyway, you guys take it easy. This is BSP Japan. It's just like I said, whenever you come to Japan, you need to abide by Japanese law. And that's what you have to do. We don't need these tourists over here acting like idiots, but we really don't need, and I think that's what they're really getting mad about. You really don't need these foreign residents taking advantage of Japan. You really don't. So anyway, I'm going to cut this down because I don't know if my internet's going to be good or not. So I will see you guys later. This is BSP Japan. I am out.